This is Twit.
So who
Good to see
came up
you.
with this idea, Guy?
Well, Simon had the original vision for a photo sharing app, and I sort of used my velvet touch to influence him in a certain direction.
Well, I think the direction is interesting because the direction is privacy, right?
Yes, hence the name.
Privy. Which, Simon, you're British. Doesn't that mean bathroom in Britain?
It has a meaning of toilet, yeah, but that's the most private place there are.
Yeah. Oh, that's a good point.
And it's
But
and it's opt-in, so it's quite private.
I'm in the Privy app right now on my iPhone. I downloaded it, installed it. So give us the mechanics of this, because when you first sign up for Privy, there's nothing there. What do you do for onboarding?
This is the marketer's interpretation.
Yes.
So the key to Privy is that, in a sense, it is a antisocial app. It is a reaction to much of social media, which has turned into something that's hostile and competitive. It's frustrating because people have volunteered to follow you or like you, and they still don't see all your posts. You're interrupted by advertising and trolls and fake accounts. And so we're trying to counter all that by making an antisocial app. So the gist of it is you get a fresh start. I mean, now that you know how social media can work, we would all do things differently, right? I would not have followed everybody on Twitter, for example.
Right.
So it's a fresh start.
We've made a Twit Privy. So
Yes,
he invited me, and this has got lots of wonderful pictures in it and so forth.
Yes.
But there can also be text, right?
Yes. Well, there's the design center is either a picture or a video or a link.
Okay.
So it's tied to something visual. And the key here is that it is double opt-in the sense that you have to be invited and you have to accept. So it's not like a text message that just starts spamming you, because that is not a double opt-in situation.
Right.
So it's double opt-in, and it's also non-algorithmic. So I'll give you a real-world use case so you can really wrap your mind around this. So I'm a very public person with my social media. I have about 12 million followers, but I have 6 members in my family. And so for my 4 kids and wife, we want to share photos and video that is not appropriate or not of high enough quality for the rest of the world.
It's for, you want to share it with your family.
Right. And we want only our family to see it, and we want every member of the family to see everything. And
Right.
so this is the use case. So, I take a picture of our pug when he pooped on the bathroom floor. I take a picture of my son when he dropped all the toilet paper when he was shopping, going on the Privy theory. And so it's these kinds of pictures. My son is a wingsuiter. He puts a picture of him wingsuiting that he doesn't want
Oh,
public.
that's terrifying.
So that's the key, that it's a fresh start. It's double opt-in, no ads, no trolls, no false identities.
Okay, no
non-algorithmic.
ads. How do you monetize then?
It's going to be a subscription model.
I like it.
see,
like
I
it.
can see myself using that, because my parents are never going to use Instagram, because they're like, I don't want my stuff on the internet.
Right.
But I would love to be with them a little bit more in kind of their day-to-day life. I don't talk to them as much as I should. This, I could probably sell them on. And if it's like, I don't know, $5 a month for my family, I'll pay it. I don't care.
Simon, give
It'll
us
be
the,
less-
how does the
It'll be
onboarding,
less than a cappuccino.
There you go.
less than a cappuccino? That's a wide range. But
That's true. That can be like up to $18 in SF. I don't know.
there's the
That's-
Dunkin' Donuts cappuccino. And, yeah. So Simon, I installed Privy. It's on. Is it only iOS at this point?
Yeah, Android is released at the end of June.
Okay. I installed it. It was a blank screen. What do I do next?
You create an album and invite the people closest to you. So we're seeing people use it for families, for close friends, for events. Alex, your wedding next year, you would create an album for the wedding, and you collect all the pictures in one
And then
place.
you'd add,
and you can invite the people.
add people, but you have to add
Yeah,
people that you
pictures.
know. You have to add people from your contact list. Is that how you add
Yeah,
people?
and that's again the idea. It's focusing on a private network rather than the social, and that's the idea. Like with a messaging application, you can only message people that you know. So
Perfect.
it's focused on that private model.
Now, I see I have an invitation. So Paul Tully, who was watching before the show, I guess,
yeah.
as we installed it, he found my handle, which is @Leo Laporte, and he's invited me. I can join or not join. But if I join, I can either view the album, accept the invitation, or reject it. I'm going to accept it. So now he and I are connected in this album, in this Disney album.
Yes.
Yes, you'll see that your label now says you're a photographer, but he is actually the owner. So you can publish pictures and images to that album, but he ultimately has control over the album, and he can invite people. And if you want to share pictures, links, etc., or comment, you can do so. You can leave, you can mute your notifications. It's designed to really be like somebody owns the album and invites the people they want to add things to.
Are those the only two status settings, photographer and owner?
Yeah, we have the option for member too. So, for example, places where you might want to add an album and invite your mother or father, and you're not really wanting them to contribute photos. So you can just have them in a view-only mode as a member.
That's a member. Okay.
And you guys have just put this out, I think, in the last couple of days. Is that right?
Yeah, correct. The focus is for WWDC. Me and Guy are actually taking over a suite in the Marriott Hotel. So we're going to be inviting people to come and meet Guy and get to know the product. And yeah, that's the focus. And like I said, Android is coming at the end of June. But this is the main iOS focus under the Privy brand.
And there are two stream pages. This is the albums stream. So these are the albums that I am a member of, and I can drill down into an album and see the pictures in the album. The other stream is the kind of activity stream, right? So
yes.
all of the comments.
It's activity.
Yeah. So this is
and
cool.
you can filter the albums that you want. So for example, at the top it says all albums. You can actually select to only show information from the ones that you're part of, and that was a big part of things that I struggled with in social media. I didn't want to see cats or babies all the time in social media. So you can just select the ones that you want to and actually, tailor your experience and how you want it to be. And it's really focused on the private market, hence the name Privy.
Yeah, I mean, one of the things that makes it a challenge to beat Twitter or Facebook is the network effect, that they succeed because everybody is on Facebook, and you have to be on Facebook if you want to communicate with them. But this doesn't actually benefit from the network effect. It damps the network effect down.
So that's probably the only way you can beat Facebook today is by taking a really radically different tack.
Yeah.
I don't think you could try to replicate Facebook now.
Making another Facebook's a bad idea.
Right, because we already have Facebook, and two, we don't like it.
Yeah.
So I like this.
And I think it was important at F8, it was mentioned that a person speaks on average to only 8 people. And WhatsApp stories were 3x what Snapchat stories were.
Right.
So there is a huge focus on the private market, and this is designed to replace people sharing photos and images in messaging applications that are just really a stream. This gives you a more tailored, focused experience where you can actually add a photo to an album, start a conversation, have a chat, but it's focused only on the people that are closest to you and mean the most.
So, Guy, you and Simon have been using this longer than anybody else. So give us some kind of feedback about how you see it being used, maybe some non-intuitive. It looks like you're making an album, for instance, Guy, for different events and things like that.
Well, I have made an album for the different social circles that I have. And this would be my family. It's my extended ohana in Hawaii. It's my surfing buddies in Santa Cruz. And they each get different kinds of photos. Although I will tell you, Leo, you can take one photo and send it to 3 albums at once.
I love that.
There are some surfing pictures that are appropriate for my family, for my Hawaii ohana and my Santa Cruz ohana.
Right.
And I think what really, really made me think, oh, this is going to be successful, is that my wife no longer shares any pictures except with Privy. That powerful statement.
Yeah. I could see doing that actually myself. So right now it's free. Anybody can download it and install it. It's on the App Store on iOS.
Privy.app. Privy.app is the domain. It came out just in the right time from Google. Thanks, guys. So yeah, Privy.app. Go and download the product.
Nice.
And like I say, it's still early stages, so we're aware that there's going to be a lot of feedback, and that's what we encourage people to do. Just send us a tweet, give us feedback, give us comments. But like Guy said, uploading one picture to multiple albums, you get different feedback. The same picture can get different feedback from different people. So a picture of, say, Guy surfing to his family would be different to his mates. And I think that's what's important about Privy. You've got different clusters of friends that comment differently based upon what photo is.
And Guy, do you have a time frame for turning on monetization?
When Simon says.
And with a pun.
Good answer.
All right, Simon, do you have a time frame?
I think we're going to continue for the next probably quarter and test the water, see how it is. Cappuccinos in San Francisco are very expensive, so if we use that model, I bought one from Blue Bottle for $7 the other day, so
Yes.
I'm cool with that pricing. But yeah, I would say probably towards the end of the year we would look at switching it on. There's still a lot of kind of tests that we want to do and get the feeling that making this app perfect for people to use and enjoy.
Have you raised money for this, or are you footing the bill yourself? How's this working?
Yes, we did an angel round at the beginning of the year, and we're going to be using that to kind of evolve the product.
Nice.
And then after WWDC, we're going to be looking and focusing on what routes to take after the Android app is live.
I really like this. I think it's good.
Yeah, it's well timed too. Everyone's worried about privacy, data sharing. If you pay for it yourself, you get to own all your stuff. It's right well timed with the market.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, really nice to talk to you.
appreciate it.
Good to see you again, Guy.
right.
I'm thrilled to see you. It sounds like you're doing great. Guy Kawasaki, of course, the legendary
Thank you.
evangelist from the earliest days of Apple, and many great books, including, and I plug it every month practically, APE, author, publisher, entrepreneur. Is that what it stands for? Self-publishing, and it's a great guide to self-publishing.
Thank you.
Yeah, always a pleasure to see you, Guy. And Simon, nice to meet
Take
you.
care.
I think you've got a hit on your
And you.
hands. Yeah. Thank
Thank
you,
you
guys.
very much.
All
It's
right,
been a
take
pleasure.
care.
See ya.
Privy. Good news. The name is odd enough that it shows up pretty quickly at the top
In
of the
the App
results.
Store.
in
And
the
if
App
you need
Store.
a friend, you can add Leo. Don't add me.
Yeah, privy.app on the web if you want to find it that way as well.